New Genesis is finally out. And in my previous video, I was talking about how I thought that this game wasn't ready for launch. I was worried about the amount of content that this game would have. And man, was I wrong. So I was going to run through this whole thing of launch and just kind of show you the good and also the bad. If you didn't see my beta review before, I'll leave a link in the description to that because I explain a lot more. Because this game is still very similar to that review that I made. So I was just going to be touching up on things that I liked now that the game is actually launched. So starting off with the good, the graphics are insane. In the beta, it was nothing near as amazing as it is right now. The textures are top notch. Everything is so sharp. Everything is so like crisp. Man, like I was just sitting there admiring it, especially when I shut off the UI and I was just looking at the scenery. It was just mind-blowing. Jesus, look at that. Look how amazing this looks. Damn, yo, sexy graphics. Like I wonder what that thing is up there, but that looks so sick. I really like how the story intertwines itself with the actual world. I was wondering how they were going to implement this at first, and I was thinking they were going to go back to their original ways of Phantasy Star Online 2, where this felt like the story was completely separate from like the core game. But they went in the opposite route with this. They actually thought really well about the open world and collaborating this with the story. So like you can actually go and do story arcs even with seeing people running around in the background. Like it's really awesome that they actually implemented the story to work well with the open world that they just created now. This is really good. And I'm really looking forward to seeing where the story develops, because so far it seems like the writing is actually better than I thought it was going to be. It's good. There are cringy moments still, but it's not nearly as bad as it was in the original Phantasy Star Online 2. While the story also intertwines with the world, I really like how they show you tutorials on how to actually play the game through. So if it's your very first time playing Phantasy Star Online, then this is the game to start with. Like, it's actually better to start with New Genesis now than it is to start with the core Phantasy Star Online 2, because this explains things a little bit easier, and it kind of spoons feeds you the whole thing instead of dumping everything at one shot. I really like the way things are locked out. That way you can progress in the story before you unlock certain aspects, like let's say upgrading of your weapons, let's say unlocking your second subclass, things like that. That way it slowly introduces these things to you as you play. It doesn't feel as hindering as I thought it was going to be. There are some moments though. Just talking about one thing that I really hated about the tutorial system is there's this big box that pops up that shows like a little example of how to actually do the certain move. But these windows are literally protruding on the screen and they're stuck there, and there's no way in the options to shut them off from what I've seen. So that's the only thing that really bugs me. Other than that, the tutorials are actually pretty welcomed. The food systems and the region mag are really cool. I saw a little bit of the region mag in the beta, but I didn't really understand it fully. All I knew was that it gave buffs. But now that it's live and we can see a little bit more of what it does, it's really cool how everybody is helping to contribute their own amount of materials to be able to buff the amount of bonus that this region mag is going to give to everyone. It's really cool because basically, let's say for today, it was giving like a 10% bonus to drop rate. That percentage went up a lot more depending on how many people were contributing to it. It's really awesome the way this works. Also, the food system, basically eating food is beneficial in this game, almost similar to what we've seen in Valhalla. You eat food in that game. I know that's a survival game, but still, it was like the same kind of concept where you eat stuff and it gives you a certain buff. So I really like that they implemented it in this game. So they didn't make you have to eat to survive, but they give you the option to eat materials and stuff like foods, like meats and fruits and things like that to give you certain types of buffs. I really like this concept a lot. The only thing I'm not noticing yet is an actual cooking system. It would have been cool if they had it some kind of way to combine the materials to make a certain type of food. I guess we'll see what happens with this whole thing. The only thing I'm really basing this off of is my first impressions. Now that the game is live, I feel like there's a lot more stuff to do. They really jam-packed every corner of this game with something. There's so many distractions that it's very hard for you to focus on a side quest or a main quest because you're so tempted by all the stuff around you. Ooh, there's something to gather over here. Ooh, there's a box over here to go break. Ooh, the red boxes, they actually drop SG, which is kind of interesting. They're dropping SG and they also drop a shit ton of money. So they're really worth looking for. And then you got mobs that are constantly all over the place. Then you got events that constantly pop up. And then you got the world events like the emergency quest type stuff. I haven't been able to do it yet because they're really high level. But that's a really cool that they have these things. So it already feels like the world is alive. There's just so much going on that it's just like you can literally get distracted for hours and hours and hours. I was playing this game and I didn't want to stop. It's just awesome. So now let's talk about the bad parts, the things that really bugged me. I already let you know about the whole tutorial box thing. I wish that we could do something with that. Maybe in the future they'll add something, I hope. But then again, since I'm already going through the game right now, I'm probably not going to have to worry about it soon enough because, you know, I will already beat the game, quote unquote, you know what I mean? But talking about the next thing is the server lag. It's really bad right now. I know they probably are working really hard to try to work on this right now, so I'm not really too worried about this. I know it will get fixed, but like it's terrible. I've saw that even a lot of people were getting knocked off. I was in the middle of my live stream and I kept getting people coming in repeatedly saying, man, I'm not playing anymore. I got disconnected. Thankfully, I didn't get disconnected at all during my stream. I was really surprised by that. It's almost like Sega was like, here, just keep streaming, man. Just keep playing. But the servers are really laggy and it's just like constantly like rubber banding. Like you see the mobs rubber banding. Your character is surprisingly able to move around and do stuff. And there was only one time that I was killed by lag when I was sitting there shooting at a mob and I didn't move, but the mob wasn't moving either. So I was just sat there shooting. Then all of a sudden a laser beam came out and boom, and I was insta killed by it. So that was the only one time that I got killed during lag. But yeah, some of these, especially the areas that are really populated right now, like the core city area, it's super bad. If you go out to like the deeper areas that have higher level content, like level 8s to level 10s and things like that, there's not a whole lot of people out there yet. So it's definitely a lot more stable out there, but you can still see the lag every now and then. So hopefully this gets fixed within this week or so. That way we can get to work and really start grinding in this game. I didn't see any options for Vsync, and I was really hoping to put that on because I noticed like the jittery lines and stuff on my screen when I move my mouse too fast. So I'm really hoping that they add that option, but I highly doubt they're going to. So I'm trying to figure out what to do to fix this. If anybody knows of a way to put Vsync on, definitely hit me up in the comments. I feel like that's the only thing that's kind of hurting my experience. And then there's also like the stuttering lag is really bad in this game. Like it can go from me having like 100 FPS standing still. Once I start moving, it starts doing all this stuttery stuff. I don't know if this has to do with the server lag that I was just mentioning, or if that's something that's on my end, you know, PC wise. I have no idea. I feel like my computer is more than capable. You can see the specs in the description of the video here. Like, so I don't really understand what's happening. So I'm assuming that they had to either do some optimization with the engine, or it's probably just server lag. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens with that. And also, like the thing that really bugs me the most is the climbing. It still sucks, just like it did in beta. There's really no way to like grapple onto a rock. So let's say if you're trying to climb up a 90-degree angle, like there's like a rock that's literally straight up, there's no way for you to grab onto anything to continue jumping. So one time, once you jumped one little skip, then you have to find some place to land to jump and do it again. So it's really annoying sometimes trying to scale up certain types of mountains, because I found myself going around a mountain to go find a better way to get up, because that's like usually the only way. So it's really annoying. I really wish that they had like a Breath of the Wild style climbing in this game, where you can actually grip onto the wall and like pull yourself up or something. But overall though, I gotta say, man, Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis is definitely worth playing. It's really, really good. So I'm excited to see where this game develops to. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of my old classes coming in. I was really surprised to even see that my costumes carried over. Like, I already had a bunch of my costumes. Like, I had the Rappy suit. I had like the cat suit from Persona. I think it was the Persona suit. And then there's a few other costumes. Like, I instantly loaded into the game and had my costumes, and they were high definition, really awesome looking graphics. You know what I mean? Like, I was so happy about that. But anyway, go download it. What are you waiting for? Go play it. It's the shit. But anyway, thanks for watching. Leave a thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't, and I will see you guys on the next one. Later, y'all.